Hello, I'm Dr. Gareth Moore and welcome to my Day 9 solve of this, the Exit the Game Advent Calendar, the Missing Hollywood Star. And let's hope that I can have a slightly smoother solve than yesterday's. And I think it's fair to say in summary, I did not read instructions carefully enough. Or at least I read them and then instantly, whoop, forgot them. Today, I'm going to pay more attention, I hope. First, let me briefly mention my book that only just came out very recently, in fact, like a couple of weeks ago, Who's the Imposter? It's a book for people I think really into puzzles. There's quite a lot of interesting puzzle types in here. So if you like logic puzzles and all sorts of games and so on of that type, and I think you'll find loads in here that's actually of interest to you. What's particularly of interest is that in this puzzle, you have to work out where to go all the way through. It's quite complex actually overall. There's a tangled path you have to weave, and some of it is down to you to observe things and to find the right routes, and you kind of build up progressive instructions that allow you to work out where to go. Anyway, let's have a look at the story for today. Here it is, Day 9. Right, what have we got today? Back to the Future, the best movie of all time. I mean, arguably, clearly, but I think it's one of the best movies of all time, if not the best. I think I've seen it, goodness knows how many times. And if you haven't seen the musical version, which is in London for a few years now, it keeps getting extended and it's opened in Broadway, and you have the means to do so, then I thoroughly recommend going to see it. The music is fine, but it's the production that blows you away. I have to say, when I saw it, towards the end, I found myself crying. It was so overwhelmingly awesome. Of course, you have to love Back to the Future first, I think. That really helps. But otherwise, absolutely go see it if you can. So, you enter a hall containing the set of a large American parking lot. In the parking bays to your right and left are some pretty normal looking cars. But the car right in front of you immediately catches your eye. It's none other than the original DeLorean DMC-12 from Back to the Future. You step closer, fascinated. The door is open and inside you discover the flashing flux capacitor. On the front dashboard, 3 date indicators are lit up, one above the other. There is a line for the date of the last trip, as well as one each for the start and end dates. With a wry smile, you notice that the target time entered is just under an hour before the start date. Oh yes, Marty McFly certainly made the most of this cool sports car during his adventurous travels through time. Okay, so we see the configuration of the time panel here, and it's got number pads underneath, some colours, coloured cables, and we have a destination time, which is today, December the 9th, 2024, 5:58 in the evening, and I guess that is West Coast American time, based on the movie. December the 9th, 2024, 6:47 p.m, which is the present time, so they're going back in time by not quite an hour. Last time departed, October 21st, 2015. And 2015 is the year they go to in Back to the Future 2, when they go forward in time. That's actually not my favourite movie. I prefer 1 and 3. Anyway, let's see what's on the back of this page. Right, okay. Oh, there's more text. You slide behind the wheel in the driver's seat, knowing, of course, that it's a fake car. Just for kicks, you press the accelerator pedal. What did Marty do again? Ah, yes, you have to accelerate to 88 miles per hour. To your surprise, the display on the speedometer actually climbs up 60, 70, 80, 85, 88. Blue bolts of energy flash. You hit the brakes and scramble out of the car. Duh, of course. You're still in the exact same parking lot as when you got into the DeLorean. Just a fake car, nothing more. As if you could actually travel back in time. Alright, let's get moving. Somewhere on this set there must be clues to the next door code. Open door 9, behind which we will find one riddle card, H1. Clearly the implication of that text is that we have actually travelled back in time an hour. But I guess maybe we'll find out about that on future days. I also could be wrong. Let's have a look at the calendar. So here is the calendar, and yesterday we discovered that door 9 was somewhere up the top right, if I remember correctly. Yeah, literally here at the top right. Let's have a look in door 9, which is a cup of coffee. I wonder if there's any relevance to that, or it's just decorative. Okay. Oh, here's H1 as expected. We'll have a look in the room in a minute, but I can see the back of a DeLorean and some ordinary, uninteresting cars there. And what has it got to say? Where these 3 numbers have been found, other numbers should be seen. Take a look around and put them in your time machine. That almost reads as a poem, but I don't think it actually is meant to be a poem. It doesn't quite work. Right, take a look around and put them in your time machine. So I've got 4, 7 and 6, and come on, look. On a decoder strip, it looks a bit like the time machine, right? It's got Deck, Oct. Somebody pointed this out in the comments the other day. I actually don't know if I would have realised this. Here, we haven't looked in the room yet, but Deck, Oct does indeed match what's on here. So on the card, we've got 4, 7, 6, and surely, because it is pretty clear the colours match the strip, which has been done in a previous day, so that's not new in itself, I can't surely just be putting 4, 7, 6 in here. I know I haven't looked in the room yet, but surely it's more complicated than that. Ah, maybe there's an order in. No, because Deck, Oct is correct. I'd be disappointed if that's the answer. Let's have a look in the room anyway. Right, so there's the DeLorean looking as sleek and futuristic as it did back in the 80s, which is actually quite remarkable. And I guess that's the Twin Pines Mall, or Lone Pine Mall as it becomes at the end of the movie. So what's that up at the top? Maybe that's just a bit of ceiling to let us know that it's a set, although I'm actually pretty sure they filmed outside for this bit. What about down here? Nah, there's nothing in this room. I really think that we're probably just putting the numbers into the decoder. That's disappointing. No, that can't be right, but I'm going to have to try that first. I mean, it's not disappointing. Anything with Back to the Future is instantly awesome, in my opinion. But it could be more awesome if there's more to do. So I've put 476 into the decoder, which requires nothing other than observing that those colours are there. So let's have a look. And we are here, 476, and we are going upright. Aha, excellent. I'm so pleased that I have it wrong. I've never been so pleased to have a puzzle wrong in my life. Because, I mean, to be fair, I've done literally nothing except put the numbers into the decoder. And I am glad that that is not the answer, because that would move us upright off the calendar. Fantastic. So glad to be wrong. Right, let's look at this in a bit more detail then. We have positions on the keypad for 4, 7 and 6. We have times and destinations. So what can I note about these numbers? These are the time machine strips. You can see that the deck oct matches. One possibility is that I'm not setting this to 476, but to something in here, like the fourth digit is a 0. Could I be doing that? Let's try that first. The fourth digit here is a 0. The fourth character is a 0. And this is a bit of a stab in the dark, but I'm going to try it. The seventh blue character is 4, 5 is a 0. And the sixth yellow character, 3, 4, is a 2. So I mean, this is not, I don't think, clued, but it's one thing I could try. So let's turn it over and see what happens. We're going right. So that's not right either, because this is the edge of the calendar. I can't go any further this way, as I just showed before. Right, so that's not it. We're not indexing into the time machine, which is a valid, which is a sort of potential solution, but I think the puzzles in the exit calendar do tend to be a bit more directly clued once you've understood what the clue is saying than that. So perhaps somewhere on the calendar, it does suggest put into your time machine. Perhaps somewhere on the calendar there is something going on, or maybe I need to understand how to use the decoder strip better. Perhaps there's some subtlety to this. But let's have a look on the calendar in case there's something to do with the time machine on here. In particular, what's on the... I don't remember seeing anything on here. This is the flap above the calendar that folds open. That's my little card I just dropped. I don't think there's anything there. Pretty sure there's nothing on the front. And what about the back? Is anything here to do with Back to the Future? I mean, there's something strange here, but that seems irrelevant. No, I don't think anything on here is to do with Back to the Future. Having had a good look at the calendar yesterday, I don't think it's in the instruction book or the storybook. Certainly not the pages we're allowed to turn to. So I feel that everything we need, it says into your time machine, but I don't think that it's anything to do with the picture, because I can't see that there's any detail there that's going to be helpful. So I assume that we are working out how to use this, this, and this to produce an answer. So what can we do? Let's have a think. All right, so I think I haven't paid attention to the card properly, because look, it says, where these numbers have been found, I commented on the rhyme of it, but not the meaning. Typical of me. Other numbers should be seen. Take a look around and put them in your time machine. Okay, so I think this is the time machine. And where these numbers have been found, other numbers should be seen. So I think we're trying to translate these. So on that basis, what I tried already of indexing them into the time machine actually made quite some sense. Okay, so perhaps I was right with the indexing idea, but I should ignore the deck oct and just start at this digit. So the fourth digit, ignore the fourth digit, not the fourth character, is a 0, which is actually what I had before. The seventh blue character, 1, 2, 4, is a 1. Could this be right? Yeah, I mean, it could be. It's an easy thing to say, isn't it? But is it right? I don't know. The sixth yellow digit is a 5. Okay, well, you know what they say, third time lucky. So let's go back to the room here and see what we have now. We have up left. Oh, that's wrong as well. Oh, golly gee. That is not it. Okay, it's turning into a yesterday-style epic. Where these three numbers have been found, other numbers should be seen. Take a look around and put them in your time machine. So where these three numbers have been found, well, there's 4 in red. That's here. That's the 6th digit. We could try it that way around, as opposed to index. I could take the index of these digits. There's a 7 in the blue, And that's the 4th, 5, 6, 7th, 8th, 10th digits. That doesn't work. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. There's a blue, only one blue 7, and it's in the 10th digit, and the 6 is in the 8th digit. If I consider the 10th digit as a 0th digit, that seems like a massive cheat. But what's going on there? That takes me off the calendar as well. I think, is that 4 or 5? I'm even losing track of how many attempts I've had now. When it says take another look around, that suggests, I think it just means look in the area, but it could mean turning it around. But I mean, that isn't going to do anything, right? Even if I put 476 into the decoder and I turn it around this way, I mean, I get 9 and then some upside down numbers that aren't right. What does it mean turn it around? There were no numbers on the back. Okay, so I'm pretty sure take a look around and put them in your time machine means put 476 in here. Because what else would that mean? But the question is, what do we then do? You can see that the little screws appear either sides of this. Let's just assume that's coincidence, because I don't see that symbol appears anywhere else. But once I've got 476 in here, then what? Because as we've already explained, we can't move upright off the room. I honestly think that I must have everything in these 3 cards. What am I missing? I've put 476 in here. That surely is the first step. And then it must connect to this, but I have tried the obvious things that I could think of. The first thing is to index into here. The second thing is to try and index out of it. I've tried indexing from the start. I've tried indexing from the numbers. Am I finding 476 on here doesn't make much sense because I wouldn't need this to do it. So what am I missing in terms of the connection between these? I don't understand. Unless we are directly connecting these across with these. If this reads this as Deck 09 to O, they don't line up. There are 10 digits on here. There are 10 digits on here. Perhaps I'm not putting 4, 6, 7, 8 in at all. Perhaps I'm just looking for letters where they coincide, but then that doesn't need the strip either. It's just like the 0th digit is always going to be in the 0th location. That doesn't make sense. Ah, golly, I am really struggling on this calendar this year. All right, I'm going to have to do something I haven't done before, which is take a hint. So let's find the day. 7th, 8th, 9th. Let's tear this out. I think they are designed to, yes, they are designed to tear out. I'm not sure I've ever done that before. Okay. And then we're meant to fold up to read the clues. So let's do that first. Have you found your own time machine? You have definitely had it in your hand often and set numbers into it. Yes, it's this. Do you see the similarity to the illustration on the calendar sheet? Yes, yes, I do. Deck, oct. That's no coincidence. Fiddle card H1 shows you 3 digits uniquely assigned to a colour. I mean, they are uniquely assigned to a colour. I've already said that before. 4 is here, 7 is here, 6 is here, but the 7th one is in the 10th position. So I thought, I don't understand. Still don't understand. Let's read the next clue. I feel I've gone through all of this before. Your time machine means the decoder table. Okay, if you compare, wait, your time machine is the decoder table. Yes, that's what I'd worked out. If you compare it to the illustration of the car dashboard, you see both have 3 lines, one each in red, blue and yellow, each with 10 digits. Yes, I've worked that out. Return to riddle card H1. It tells you to find 3 digits, a red 4, a blue 7 and a yellow 6 and replace them. The replacement numbers would then be read off your time machine, understood? See if you can find the 3 digits you are looking for and where in the sequence they are. That clue does not help me even slightly. It tells me what I think is already pretty obvious. That you've got numbers on here, numbers on here. It doesn't tell you what to do. And it does say something which it doesn't say on the card. On the card it says take a look around and put them in your time machine. Here it says, it tells you to find 3 digits and replace them. Well, maybe it's meant to imply that, but it doesn't actually tell you to do that. But clearly I need to replace 476. I've worked that out because they don't work as answers. These clues don't help me! Help! It's talking about positions. Now you see, I've been working under the assumption that there must be a reason to use the decoder strip. So I can't just be counting the position across to where the numbers are, surely. Because then what is the point of referring to this? I'll try it anyway. So 4 is in, if I count this as position 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the 4 is in position 5, the 7 is in position 9 because it's actually in the 10th position. This is what I tried before, but I didn't try subtracting 1 from the values. Okay, and the other number on our card is the yellow 6, and that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's the 7th position. Surely that can't be correct. It doesn't use the decoder strip at all, except as a terrible hint that you should be indexing from 0 and counting. I think that's incredibly unfair. Surely that's not right. Let's have a look. Okay, it's conceivable we're going down left, left and down. honestly. L square star. I'm incredibly disappointed by that. I shouldn't go overboard in saying that. I'm sure the puzzle's fine. I'm just bitter because I couldn't do it. But honestly, I think there's no shame in not being able to solve that, because that's really obtuse. And let's have a look at the solution on the what does it actually say? Have I done this correctly? Find the 3 digits of riddle card H1 on the car dashboard. The red 3 is 6th on the left. Well, that's unhelpful. It's a red 4. It clearly means this. Honestly, I guess this is actually not as bad as I thought it was. Right, the blue 7 in the cockpit is in 10th place. The decoder table shows 9 there. The yellow 6th is in the 8th position. I mean, that's fine. My problem here is that this card tells you absolutely none of that and doesn't hint at it. In fact, it directly misleads you. It tells you to put them into your time machine. That very strongly implies you're putting them into the sliders. And you are not doing that at all. You're supposedly putting them into this illustration, which is clearly impossible to do. No, you're extracting them. Honestly, not a fan of this puzzle. Did I make that clear? Did I think I did? I didn't like that puzzle. Right, I need to write something on the door before I explode. And that's going to be our door for day 10. And hopefully I'll enjoy tomorrow's puzzle more. What a shame. Back to the Future is my favourite thing. Also, I should be very clear. This is just my opinion, first time through solving the puzzle. Perhaps I'll watch this video back and go, that was so obvious. What was I objecting to? Anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, do please join me in a future video when hopefully I shall be slightly less indignant about the puzzle. And in the meantime, please do subscribe somewhere down below. Click the bell button to be reminded of future videos once you subscribe. Do please like the video. It actually really does help. And do please comment. I love reading your comments. Thank you ever so much for posting them. I really enjoy reading them every single day. So thank you so much. But otherwise, until I see you in the future or past or going back to the future video, all it remains is me to say take care and goodbye.